Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me, I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. And then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like...
What is going on, family? Peace and assalamu alaikum. This is your brother King Cam, and I am the host of Shifting the Culture podcast. So what I need everybody to do, family, is I need you to smash that like button. If you're joining us over from YouTube, I need you to make sure that you like, share from Facebook, and I need you to make sure that you subscribe also from the YouTube family. Shout out to the Twitter family as well for tuning in. Man, we working on putting together a new studio. So as you can see, the background is changing a little bit. I done rearranged the studio. We got some different things going on. You see, I got my picture right here in the back. Now, y'all noticed this picture's been on the podcast for a long time. This picture been on the podcast for a long time, but it hasn't had the frame. It hasn't had the frame. So we got it framed up. We got it framed up now. So I'm going to get it put up in a little bit. But we got that bad boy framed up. Who is the original man? Right here. So that's going to be right here, smack dab in the background. Probably going to put it like right here or something. I don't know. Haven't figured out where I'm going to put it at. But it's definitely going to be up there so everybody can see it. So, yeah, check that out. I'm getting frames for all my pictures. So we're rearranging. We're rearranging, family. So, listen, sorry we ran a little behind time today. We ran a little bit late. You know, I was really in deep thought on what exactly we was going to discuss tonight. I was really in deep thought on what we was going to discuss tonight. So what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the proper use of social media. The proper use of social media. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan gave us some instructions on the proper use of social media, and we're going to get into that tonight just so we can kind of deal with some of the things that's been going on. You know, a lot of people know what's happening in the media, and this is not just even with, you know, Jada and Will. This is just with black people as a whole. You know, we have to understand the proper use of social media. So I want to get into that tonight, and I'm going to be sharing some guidance from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan on that. But before we do that, you know, we got to promote some black music. We got to promote some black business. We got to do all that. So if y'all don't know, my intro music is from Brother Golden Child. Intro music is from Brother Golden Child. Man, that brother is official with the mic. You understand me? So, man, we want to get into another one of his records before we get into the show. This one, drop the mic all high. This one is called Rebellious. All right, so I want y'all to check this out.
There can never really be justice on stolen land. Are you really for peace and equality?
Yeah.
Or when my car is hooked up, no, you want to follow me.
This one,
your laws are minimal. Because you won't even think about looking at the real criminal.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You know. Yes, sir. The victory belongs to the righteous.
Come on.
Our power is in our unity.
Yeah.
Look. When you see me coming, know it's serious. Am I really like that? Ask the trenches if you curious. I still laugh and know how to have a good time. Just gotta ask God to forgive us for how we get.
Hey, hit the comment section. Let me know what you think about this.
Yeah, I'm on that. Try to cancel me, you might get canceled. You should know that. No, I can't let them castrate me.
Yes,
No, sir, they won't pay me for my manhood. Keep it, we don't want that. U.S. soldiers come home and the people
Thank them for their service. If they knew how many lives we saved, they thank us for our service.
Save some people's lives that might not ever know we saved them. Long as Allah pleased with how we out here working,
Then it's always worth it.
Look, please
Don't get us confused.
Yeah, we pushing peace, but
We get busy, we get violent too.
got some brothers with the movement,
But they ain't got all they screws.
We just found the truth and we were
Allah come against us and you bound to lose.
Can't say I ain't warn you,
Can't say I ain't tell you.
come through with them ones, with the members called us failures. Grew up in the trenches, but it
Turn
turned
us into warriors.
Mama, I was born to buck
The system, I'm rebellious for sure.
Look, they ask me, is this real or
Is this for the cameras?
A lot of brothers say they fire people,
But really be scammers.
if all the work I put in was on camera, you would have that answer. What I look like doing this for clout, look, I got higher standards. I don't need 100 soldiers with me,
I got God with me.
Still pull up deep to show the brothers unified with me. Know some brothers ready for whatever that's gon' ride with me. Got some real dedicated members on this side with me. Youngin' out his mind, off appeal, he
Think he's Superman.
off appeal, he get way
Way
out
out his body, think he's Super Saiyan.
He just trying to escape the pain for real, escape reality. Streets depressing, you can lose your mind and you can lose your head. Promise we been getting the trench together though, for sure that.
Yeah.
They trying to tell us.
Hey man, this shifting the culture.
We know that, huh? Lot of commentary.
Hey, hit the comment section.
Sidelines.
Let me know what city you from.
Talk about we really on that. So look, please
Don't get us confused.
Yeah, we pushing peace, but
We get busy, we get violent too. See, I got my unity hat.
but they ain't got all they screws. We just found the truth and we were Allah
Come against us and you bound to lose.
Can't say I ain't warn you.
You can't say I ain't tell you.
Come through with them ones, with the members called us failures. Grew up in the trenches,
But it turned us into warriors.
Mama, I was born to buck the system.
I'm rebellious for sure.
Mama, I was born to buck the system, I'm rebellious for sure. Mama, I was born to buck the system, I'm rebellious for sure.
Show. Yeah, family. Hey, man. Shout out to brother Golden Child. That's the newest EP single from my brother Golden Child. It's called Rebellious. You can go pick that up on all streaming networks right now. It's available to you. All right. So now, let's get into it. Let's get into it, family. So, as many people know, Jada and Will are back at it again. And before I get started, I want to clarify. Let me just clarify. We're not gossiping. We're not backbiting. Not going to get into their personal business. Not going to get into any details of anything because I don't know no details of anything. To even get into any details of anything. Anything that we discuss tonight, Will and Jada have already said it. And honestly, the conversation is not going to be centered around them because I believe it's a lesson that we can learn from them. I'm going to say that again. I believe it's a lesson that we can learn from Jada and Will. See, most of us don't look at these situations and figure out how can I learn something. We look at these situations and the first thing we do is we start judging. We judging that person or those people on their situation. But we're not looking at it and say, now how does this apply in my life? See, we got to start thinking about it like that. So, like I said, I wanted to share some wisdom from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. He gave us this little book, right? It's called Social Media Guidebook. Social Media Guidebook. And in this Social Media Guidebook, the minister, I wish I had a PDF to put up on the screen. They don't have a PDF for this. I looked, so I didn't see it anyway. So the minister gives us guidance from The Time and What Must Be Done, part 14, where he gives us instructions on how to use social media. And later on, I'm going to see if I can pull that clip up directly. All right. I'm going to see if I can pull that clip up directly of the minister where he talks about it, and then I'll show it. But in the meantime, I'm going to read it because we need to hear it. So the minister says, well, let me back up. The Holy Quran in Surah 30 and in Surah 43, it says this. It starts with being a Muslim. And it says this. Set your face for religion being upright. The nature by Allah in which he has created man before there comes a day that cannot be averted. And on that day, they shall be separated. So the messenger of God said, Allah will weed out his kingdom in his own good time. So we have to be careful now because only a true believer is the friend of a believer. And you're never known to be true until you've been tried and you pass the test. So let us strive to be true believers and friends of one another. So the minister says this in the time of what must be done, part 14. He says, and I quote, I think we should strive to fill the airwaves of social media or the internet with intelligent discourse rather than the vanity and useless foolishness that is constantly being used on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter pages. I would also like for the ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under my leadership to respond intelligently to the people who are raising questions, even those who doubt the truth of what we are saying and are exclaiming their vitriol and bitterness to what they are hearing from us. But never, ever should we go down in the gutter with those who choose to go there. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan, the time and what must be done, part 14. So the minister is asking us to use social media to fill the airways with intelligent discourse rather than vanity and useless foolishness that is constantly being used on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter pages. So the minister's giving us a guide on how we should use social media. I'm not going to be able to pull this clip up. So he's giving us a guide. He's giving us a way, giving us a measuring stick on how we should utilize social media. So look, check this out. The minister says this. He says that the minister has a Twitter account. The minister has a Facebook account. This is back when the minister did have Facebook, before they lifetime banned the minister. The minister has an Instagram account. This is before the ban. But you can't find nothing personal on none of his accounts. He's always dropping wisdom, the wisdom of God and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if something comes up, he gives guidance. This is how he uses social media. But when you use it to gossip, when you use it for slander, when you use it for backbiting, 49th Surah of the Quran, when you use it for mockery of one another. Did you see Sister So-and-so, that dress she had on? That's your social media talk. That's just stupid because now the enemy doesn't even have to send a spy among us or into the mosque, because a spy in the mosque will only catch the lecture or something that is said by you on your way to your car or where you socialize. But when you put all your business, your personal business, on social media, the devil does not have to bother spying on you. He just combs your stuff and then pits you against each other. Can I befriend you now? Who is this that wants to befriend you? The devil posing as one of us. So the wise use of social media. So this is guidance being given from those who operate. I believe that quote, it doesn't say that quote, who was that from? I believe that might have been from. No, I think this was from the minister. I was thinking it was from his social media manager, but it's from the minister. So this is guidance, though, that the minister's giving us on properly use social media, because he done already got into us about how we using it to gossip and slander and backbite and slack talk. So it says in Surah 49, let's go to Surah 49, from the Holy Quran to see what the book say about slander and gossip. Because we love to slander and gossip. Always talking about what he want and just gets in his no. But the 49, Surah 49. All right. Where we at, family? This is real. I'm giving y'all some tangibles tonight that you can go ahead and take and apply to your own life and see if you've been backbiting, slandering, and gossiping on your social media pages. And then you have to make a decision now. Have to make a, you have to make a decision. Going on, brother Nason tapped in from North Carolina. Good brother. Walaikum salam, Sister Tamara. That's Detroit in the building. So look. Let's see what it's talking about when it comes to the gossiping and the slandering. Surah 49. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Right here. Here we go. Okay. So Surah 49, chapter 49 of verse 11, it says, O you who believe, let not people laugh at people, perchance they may be better than they. Nor let women laugh at women, perchance they may be better than they. Neither find fault with your own people, nor call one another by nicknames. Evil is a bad name after faith. And whoso turns not, these it is that are the iniquities. O you who believe, avoid most of suspicion, for surely suspicion in some cases is sin. And spy not, nor let some of you backbite others. Does one of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother? You abhor it and keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is oft returning to mercy, the merciful. Now look at that. Look at that. Now I'm going to break that down for those who might not understand the language that the Quran just broke that down in. Surah 49, verse 11 and 12. It says, O you who believe. Let's start at the beginning with verse 11. It says, O you who believe, let not people laugh at people. Perchance they may be better than they. Stop right there. That's dealing with us right there. It says, let us not laugh at people. Perchance they may be better than they. So that's saying that we shouldn't laugh at others, especially when they're going through something. We shouldn't be laughing because that would suggest that we think that we better than them and we can never go through anything. Hello. Yeah, we're going to get to it tonight. Yeah, we're going to get to it tonight now. Make sure that you tweet this out. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. All right. So that's the first piece. You shouldn't laugh at one another. Second piece is that the sisters shouldn't laugh at sisters. So brothers, you shouldn't laugh at brothers. Sisters, you shouldn't laugh at sisters. But then check this out. Because it says, neither find fault with your own people. Neither find fault with your own people. So the scripture is telling us that we should not find fault with our own people. Now, this is regarding personal attacks. Because there's nothing wrong with finding fault with ideas, finding fault with ideology, finding fault with systems and agendas. We go after that. Go after their program. Go after their agenda. Go after their ideas. But the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said never attack people personally. Never attack people personally. Okay? Well, what does this got to do with Will and Jada? Well, this don't have nothing to do with Will and Jada necessarily. This is just about our behavior and decorum when it comes to how we should deal with one another, and our decorum in the way that we handle and deal with each other in respect to social media. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. We're going to touch on some stuff that may slide into what Will and Jada got going on, but this is for how we should behave just as a people. This is not just only for Will and Jada. This is not no Jada bashing fest. None of that. This is about us being accountable to ourselves. And this is what we have to start doing more of. And we have to start looking at ourselves when we see certain things taking place. Because the Honorable Minister Farrakhan says self-improvement is the basis for community development. So if we're not applying different things to ourselves in our daily lives, then it's not going to help us to become better people, better individuals that will create a better family, a better community, and then a better nation. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense with that. All right. So the Quran is clear about how we should handle one another. It says that neither find fault with your own people nor call one another by nicknames. Evil is a bad name after faith. Right? Then in verse 12, it goes further to say, O you who believe, avoid most of suspicion. For surely suspicion in some cases is sin. Inspire not, nor let some of you backbite each other. Backbite is gossip and slander. Okay? And then it asks the question, does one of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother? That means, do you like to see your brother or sister in a bad condition, going through something, got situation happening, and you want to backbite them, meaning you want to slander, you want to gossip about their situation to God knows who, looking at them and in their situation as if you better than them? Come on. Talk to me. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it tonight. Because this is what's going on social media. This is what's happening across the airways of social media. So the minister gave us the guidance on how we should conduct ourselves. He said, I think we should strive to fill the airways of social media or the internet with intelligent discourse rather than the vanity and useless foolishness that is constantly being used on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter pages. This is what the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said. All right. So this is important for us as we move forward. All right. For those that are just checking in, this is your brother King Cam. This is the Shifting the Culture podcast. I'm the host, and we're talking about proper decorum social media. Right. We know Will and Jada back at it again. So what I'm doing is I'm laying a baseline line for how we should operate when we are in the public. Because not only are Will and Jada just out in the public doing whatever, but we out in the public doing whatever. So we got to lay this foundation so that we'll know that we have some type of measuring stick on how we should conduct ourselves. Now look, listen to this. Listen to this, what the minister said. The minister said, in part 26 of the time of what must be done, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan states that Satan, a universal snooper. Why does he need to know everything that everyone is saying and doing? So that he can use it to silence us if we come into the knowledge of truth, or to blackmail us or whitemail us, either one, into submission to his will. He listens to your foolishness on Facebook and Twitter, and he sees your dislike of each other. And whenever he gets ready to use you against each other, he just pulls up what you're saying and begins to manipulate your division and enhance it. Whoa. The minister said that the enemy listens to the foolishness on Facebook and Twitter. Now you can add Clubhouse to that. You can add Twitter Spaces to that. And he sees your dislike of each other. And whenever he gets ready to use you against each other, he just pulls up what you're saying and begins to manipulate your division and enhance it. So while we sit online and we looking to argue, we trying to expose, we want to make sure that we outing this person to the community, and we doing all of this stuff in the public space, not going behind closed doors and handling our business like family should handle family business. We doing it in public. So the enemy's watching how all of this stuff is going down, and he's sitting back saying to himself, "Ooh, okay. Well, I know them Hebrews, they don't like the Muslims. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take something that the Muslims said, and we're gonna send it over to the Hebrews and get them fired up. And then we're gonna take something that the Hebrew Israelites said, and we're gonna send it over to the Muslims, and we're gonna get them fired up." See, so instead of them ever coming together and utilizing their manpower to actually bring change to the community, we're going to manipulate their division and enhance it so that they become unproductive. Am I lying? Let's just take out Muslim and Hebrew Israelite and let's plug in Moors and Christians. Let's plug in black people who are politically savvy versus people who are not politically savvy. Let's put those who speak for reparations or actively working in the reparations area or line of liberation against those who are working in another line of liberation work on behalf of black people. See, it don't matter which names you stick there. It really don't matter which names you stick right there. Because we creating division no matter who it is. Christians versus Muslims, Muslims and Hebrew Israelites, FB80, Freedmen, Black American, Jamaican American, Native American, all these names now used to divide us so that we become unproductive. And the enemy is sitting back watching the whole thing. Minister said that Satan is the universal snooper. Why does he need to know everything that everyone is saying and doing? So that he can use it to silence us if we come into the knowledge of truth, or to blackmail us or whitemail us. Either one, into submission to his will. He listens to your foolishness on Facebook and Twitter, Clubhouse and Twitter Space. I added that in there. And he sees your dislike of each other, and whenever he gets ready to use you against each other, he just pulls up what you're saying and begins to manipulate your division and enhance it. This is real talk right now. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Alexia. Surah 49, verse 11 and 12. Right? So when you get into the lessons, it tells you why we had to run the devil across the Arabian desert. Why we had to get him up out of the Holy Land, right? It tells you that. It says, and look, Brother Nathan get into it right here. It said that's what the devil was ran out of the root of civilization for being a troublemaker. That's exactly right. For being a troublemaker, causing the righteous to fight and kill one another. See? So we had to drive him out from among us because he was causing mischief. See? Causing division, causing the righteous to fight and kill one another. Now, this is in his DNA. So we know what he's doing, and you know what his MO is. This is what COINTELPRO, what their MO was. They would find out what the leadership was beefing about in these black organizations that were fighting on behalf of black liberation. Then they would take the differences and then they would start sending it to the opposite leadership. They'll take differences from the Black Panther Party, send that to the Deacon of Defense. The differences from the NAACP, send it to the Nation of Islam. So now you're creating division amongst the groups who should be working in unity to fight the enemy and to free our people. So the enemy understands that, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us, our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. So they make sure at every turn when they see us beginning to unify that the unity must be broken because it stops progress, it decreases power, and it stops our ability to be effective. I'm just telling you what it's about. So when you see all of this stuff going on social media and they want to put out certain stories, you notice that the gossip blog sites only put out particular stories. They're only going to put out stories that are really negative and only shedding the poor part of an individual or their situation. It's so many positive stories that can be shown that should be getting this type of views and engagement that Shade Room drives. That's just real talk. But they only making sure that they put out a particular type of story. Y'all let me know if y'all with me. If you just checking in, I need you to hit the comment section, family. Let me know what city and state that you're tuning in from. Let's increase the engagement. Of course, I want to know your comments. Let me know and put them on the screen. We'll address them. Okay? But we just talking about how the enemy uses our discourse on social media to use it against our organizations, against our leaders that are fighting for liberation, against those who are standing up to fight for the many causes that have to be fought for in the Black liberation movement. Right? So how are we utilizing social media? How are we utilizing social media? The minister gave us guidance on how we should use social media. So we should be thinking about it. We should be thinking about it ourselves. Okay, how am I using it? What am I doing with social media? Am I gossiping? Am I backbiting? Right? Let me see. So look, now let's get into this, right? Because the minister gave us some points. He gave us some points here. Here we go. Here we go. Good manners protect good morals. Good manners protect good morals. So in this book, the minister gives us a guideline. I was reading everything I read. I was reading out of this book in the Holy Quran, where the minister says further guidance from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on social media. The wise use of social media. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, February 3rd, 2017. See? The minister's giving us the wise use of social media. Very important. So look, oh yeah, we got it. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. We got it pulled up. Now I just need access to the playlist, and then we're gonna run the whole thing down. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. I got it right here. So I'm gonna play the video of the minister. But look, check this out. Check this out. The minister goes into this on keeping our personal business personal. Keeping our personal business personal. Now, again, Jada and Will, everything that we know, they put it out. So this not slander. This not backbiting. This ain't gossip. I don't want y'all to go ahead and run back and put me up on y'all social media or throw some subliminal posts up about brothers, gossiping and talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or black men attacking Jada, because this ain't that. We ain't attacking Jada. We ain't attacking Will. Everything that they did is out in the open, as we already know. It's out in the open. So we're not addressing them personally. I'm giving some guidance from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on what we should do. Maybe Jada and Will may see this and then they might take this into consideration, right? It says keeping our personal business personal. The minister says do not put your personal business on social media. Do not put your personal business on social media. If you are sad or depressed, we do not use social media to express all of these feelings to the world. We should seek assistance in Allah God through patience and prayer. This may be followed by study, auditing, and the support of friends and family to assist us. If we need additional support, we may contact, this is for officials in the mosque. But for those of us who are not in the mosque, you want to lean on family and friends for additional support. All right. Remember, we have been gifted the life-giving teachings, and we should display the best to the world. So you don't want to be putting your business out on social media, all your personal business out on social media. And then if you're going through sad and depressing things, you don't want to put that on social media like that for real neither. Okay? Don't want to put that out there. You don't want to put that out there. Because what it does is it invites everybody and their opinion into your situation. it invites everybody and their opinion into your situation. And then you end up what you got with a Jada and Will situation. And everybody's talking about it. Everybody's weighing in. You got everybody on their podcast talking about what Jada talking about. Because every time I'm on my feeds for the last week, Jada just been on the feed. Every site, it's a clip of Jada talking. She done did this interview. And I know she got a book out. So maybe she just doing her media tour, her press run for a book. Will did a book a couple years ago. He did a press run. So I want to be balanced because my sisters got on me for saying something about Jada and not saying something about Will. So we want to bring some balance to the situation. And again, I'm not addressing them personally because I don't know all of their personal business. Jada can tell you that. All I'm saying is that what we should be, the way we should be conducting ourselves is that we shouldn't put any of our personal business out on social media because we don't know how that information can impact us later on down the line. How that information can impact someone who may be watching, even the person that's involved in the situation. Because people get on here and they talk about their relationships. They talk about what they're going through. You don't know how that affects the person who's in that relationship with you, who may see this clip or see that podcast or see that or read what's in that book. Y'all seen Best Man. My man put everybody's business in the book. He put everybody's business in the book and then he let them read the book and didn't think that they was going to figure it out. And then when they figured it out, it affected everybody differently. You know what I'm saying? See, Lance read the book and it affected him differently than how it affected Mia when she read the book, how it affected Jordan when she read the book. Everybody figured out their role. And when they figured out Harper was talking about them individually and what was going on, and he was really taking off the covers of what they was doing in college and how he felt about a certain person and all of this kind of stuff that was going on. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the background. Y'all saw Best Man. If y'all ain't seen Best Man, then don't worry about it. But if you seen Best Man, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then you saw Best Man too, right? You see how the book affected Harper and Lance's relationship. So my point is, you don't know how putting this stuff out, personal affairs and exposing all of these different things may affect people who are involved, and then how it may affect people who are not involved. Because remember, J. Cole put the song out about that Jada and that Will love. You know, some people now saying, well, we don't know about that Jada and Will love now. Somebody said that Cole may have to remake the song. He might have to do a remix to that song, take that bar out or something, because we're not all the way feeling that Jada and Will love no more. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we don't know how, when we express this stuff out in the public, how it could affect other people. Because I'm big on telling people to tell their story. So when I'm telling people and encouraging people to tell their story, because they've been through something. They've been through a trial. They've been through a trauma. They've overcame that trauma. And now their story can serve as a healing, as a testimony of those who are going through that same particular trial or trauma. We want you to tell that, because that can minister and help somebody who's looking for answers. So in that particular situation, tell that. But if you're giving us a bunch of stuff that we can't use, a bunch of, garbage, if you will, for the lack of, for the sake of conversation, the garbage, we can't do nothing with the garbage. So you giving us the garbage is not going to help any of our situations, only serve to add more, damage to the situation. I hope I'm making sense. All right. So I got the minister pulled up. Let's see if we can get to the spot where he was highlighting the importance of what we're going to be doing with the, talking about the Twitter army and all that kind of good stuff. I want to say make sure I got the right part pulled up here. All right. Let me know in the comment section y'all good to go. Let me know in the right comment section if y'all good to go, family. All right, let me see. Time what needs to be done. Part 22, part 26. Okay, I know. I need to be on part 14. Had the wrong part pulled up. All right. Had the wrong part pulled up. Back on up. Okay, so this is what we need. We need part 14. 17. Oh, here go 14 right here. Okay. All right. Get that plan for your family. That plan for you.
From around the globe, in sold-out arenas and humble churches, from out on the streets to your screen. And now, the time and what must be done. On this edition of Farrakhan Speaks.
Greetings to you. I am Minister Louis Farrakhan, National Representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that great preacher of freedom, justice, and equality to the Aboriginal people of the earth, and a warner to the United States government and the American people and the nations of the earth, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. I am most grateful and thankful to Allah for another opportunity to share with you some of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I would like to thank you, the viewers, for your support in telling your friends about the broadcast, and thank you to my social media brothers and sisters who are tweeting and retweeting the salient points in the lecture as it touches them. I think we should strive to fill the airwaves of the social media or the internet with intelligent discourse rather than the vanity and useless foolishness that is constantly being used on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter pages. I would also like for the ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under my leadership to respond intelligently to the people who are raising questions, even those who doubt the truth of what we are saying and are exclaiming their vitriol and bitterness to what they are hearing from us. But never, ever should we go down in the gutter with those who choose to go there. I want Brother Jesse Muhammad and our Twitter fans to know that I am interested in reading everything that you have to say and to answer your questions if it pleases Allah, if you would desire to ask them. I answer all my Twitter questions, and I've just about completed all of the 600 or more questions that came to me from our town hall meeting. I think I have 50 more questions by the grace of Allah to answer. So whatever troubles you, whatever disturbs you about the message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the scripture says, seek and ye shall find, ask and it shall be given unto you, knock and it shall be opened unto you.
Thank you, Brother Minister. Thank you, Brother Minister. All praise is due to Allah, family. So you heard it right there from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Again, what we should be striving to do on social media and why it's important that we have good, proper use of social media so that we're able to lift our people up. That's what this is about. We should be using social media to lift our people up, not use social media to tear people down. So look, let's get more into this right here. Let's get more into this right here. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something because it's important. It's important that we have this. Again, we know Satan is the universal snooper. Okay? Check this out. Now, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad referred to our enemy as the universal snooper. On the land, sea, and even in outer space, our open enemy is working to intercept our communications. With the advent of cell phones, the internet, and social media, we willingly participate in which permits extensive access into our daily communications, moment by moment. From the comfort of our homes or wherever we are, we can post one comment or picture and reach hundreds, thousands, and even millions of people. Therefore, our conduct on social media must reflect no less than the high standard of civilized behavior that we have been given at FOI and MGT. And I am extending that to you, family. I'm extending that to you. As the enemy intercepts our communication, he takes note of the issues that we express about one another. Bingo, I mentioned that. They listening. They trying to find out who you beefing with. They trying to figure out who you got a problem with. Because then they're going to go to that person on the back end and exacerbate the tension. They're going to expand it, enhance it. See? Then he uses this to do what? Divide and manipulate us. Divide and conquer. What has the Caucasian been doing since the Holy Land? See? They was taught a system of tricks and lies. After Yaqub made his man, he taught him a system of tricks and lies to do what? Master the original man. And when they master the original man, they master the original man by stopping them from being able to unite or unify with one another. So you have become mastered when you have lost the ability to unify with your own kind. This is why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us to accept our own and be yourself. When you come into the Nation of Islam, you accept your own and you be yourself. This is how you regain power and you regain mastery over self when you unite. Come on, let's go. Let's go. So it says that social media is not a forum to air the issues that you may have with your brother or sister. We are taught to deal directly with those whom we have an issue or concern. Now, have you noticed that every time somebody got a problem with something that somebody said or something that somebody did, which that person was wrong to say it and do it if they did it in a public forum instead of going directly to that person? But now we take the social media to address everything. Everything is addressed via social media. I get asked to come on an interview. I got a problem with somebody. I'm going to speak on it in an interview instead of speaking directly to them. In most cases, I'm going to speak on it in an interview. Then the person that I spoke on is going to now go into an interview and they're going to speak on what I said. If there are people that have their own podcasts or shows, then they're going to address the situation on their podcast or show. Not going to the person directly and having a sit down and having a conversation and being able to reason with one another over their disagreement. This is how everything happens on social media. Anytime somebody have a problem, you notice when Nicki Minaj says something about a hip hop artist, a female hip hop artist, then it's discussed on Twitter. The whole Twitter timeline becomes what Nicki said about another female artist. You saw what she said about Lotto's song, and Lotto took offense to what Nicki said about the song, and then Lotto started showing DMs, and she started playing recorded conversations between her and Nicki. Now, in that situation, Lotto went to Nicki, and they was having a conversation, but then you destroy everything that's built in the conversation that you having to try to work out the issues if you're going to go on social media and leak it out. So like all of the stuff that they were working out on the phone call, which was the purpose of the phone call, Lotto destroyed all that when she put the phone call on Twitter. Why would you take it to Twitter after you had a private conversation with Nicki? This is the stuff that be going on. So it says that social media is not the forum to air the issues you may have with your brother or sister. We are taught to deal directly with those whom we have an issue or concern. We are also taught by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan that backbiting, gossip, and slander provides a field for the enemy to hide in. Because we get so caught up on what was said about one another that we don't even look and see the hidden hand. Like, where did this lie come from? Or who sent you? These are the questions that we should be asking. Oh, is that what they told you? Oh, who told you that? Can you get them on the phone? Yeah, let's do a 3-way. See, this is how you start dealing with people. I'm gonna tell you, this is how you deal with people that bring you specific type of news, especially when it's coming from third party, right? This is how you deal with that. You need to tell them, the person that's the messenger, you need to say, okay, well, can you get such and such who told you that on the phone? That's how you bust all that up. Because see, now when you got all the parties involved, that's when the truth start coming out. So it says that the pervasive nature of social media gives an open enemy a big field to sow seeds of dissension among our people. But if the believer is wise, social media can be a big field for the why to make man to work out and arise the dead by the thousands. So if you're not applying knowledge and wisdom to the proper use of social media, then the enemy can use that to tear down your business, use that to tear down your community, use that to tear down your character and your representation, put you on public display for a social media crucifixion. Because this is what they do to black men. They publicly destroy their character assassination, public crucifixion. This is why Jesus is so important in the scripture, because Jesus not only represents a man, he represents a people. A people who have been made fun of, who have been mocked, and who have been crucified. See, when you look at the Jesus on the cross, and Brother Minister Nuri broke this down, and he broke it down from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, because I listened to the minister say it, and he said that Jesus is a representation of the people, because when you see Jesus nailed to that cross, you see black people and how we've been nailed to the slave master here in America, how we've been bound. You see how Jesus' arms nailed to the cross, meaning our hands have not been able to be productive to build a nation of our own. See? And then when you look at his feet being nailed to the cross, that means his feet has not been able to carry him, not been able to allow him to move and to work and to do anything. So you can't go nowhere if your feet is bound. So you tied to the slave master, and you're not able to build anything. And then you have that crown that Jesus had on his head of thorns, right? Which represents the knowledge that they gave us here in America. See, the Negro that you have and the nigga that you got walking around today is not what was taken off of the islands of West Africa and brought to the shores of America and brought and dropped off into the Isles of the Caribbean. That ain't the same black person. See, when they got us from the shores of West Africa, you talking about people who were scientists, people who were inventors, people who were warriors, people who were productive, people who were gods. This is what they got from West Africa. Well, by the time they got finished with us, after the 64 years that they took to make slaves and to beat Islam out of you, to beat your religion out of you, beat your God out of you, beat the history and your culture, your folk ways and your more ways out of you from the ancestors. See, what happens was the first set of slaves that they got from West Africa won't having it. They was fighting from West Africa across the boat. People was getting tossed. You seen Roots. See, at the beginning of Roots, when they got Kunta Kinte, they was making war with the beasts on the boat. They was making war with the beasts on the shore of West Africa. And then every step of the way, they was making war with the beasts. So people was getting tossed off the boat. They was fighting. Why? Because Islam is not a slave-making religion. Islam is not a slave-making religion. It's not in your nature to be a slave or a servant to anyone except God. That's it. It's not in your nature for you to do that. So in order for them to make a Chicken George and an Uncle Tom and, all of these pliant Negroes, in order for them to do that, there had to be a process. And in that process, this is how they made a slave. This is how they made a Negro. That's why you made in America. America's Frankenstein. Right? So this is what has happened. This is what has happened. So I don't even know how we got there. But so we have to use social media to raise our people up. You have to use social media to lift our people up. That's right. All praise is due to Allah. So, social media conversations should be clean and used to uplift and promote truth. When the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated, every time I look at a black man, I'm looking at God. Is it God that others see when our postings are viewed? The Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches that we are not here to show anger to our savage brothers and sisters. We are an army raised by God through the messenger to save our people. So those of us who have any knowledge of truth, don't matter what you know, as long as it's truth, don't mean you got to know everything. But what you do know of truth, then you should be exemplifying that which you know. You should be striving to live and to be an example of that which you know, so that you can be an example to help raise your dead brother and sister. Because that's the condition of black people in America, a dead condition. This is why the book call you that. See, this is why the books call you that. See, both of these, Holy Quran, Bible, they style the people as dead. Why do they style the people as dead? Because we dead mentally. We don't think for ourselves. We don't know who we are. We don't know our names. We don't know our religion. We don't know our God. We don't know our language. We call each other by the white man's name. We call each other through and communicate through the white man's English. Englishmen speak English. Frenchmen speak French. Spanish people from Spain speak Spanish. You not from none of those places. All of these are European places in Europe, but yet still you speaking all of their language. What's your native tongue? What's your native tongue, black man? It's not English. The last name is not John, Brown, Hook, Foot. That ain't your last name. But you going in the names of your slave master because you don't know no better. This is why the knowledge of self is so important. This is why the Bible and the Holy Quran styles us as dead. Because you have no knowledge. That which has no knowledge, has no light, has no life. Point blank, period. Knowledge equals light equals life. If you don't have knowledge, you don't have light, you don't have life. If you don't have life, the only other thing you could be is dead. This is why the scripture tells us that, not that we are physically dead and the people that are resurrected are going to be coming out of a grave. That's not the right understanding. And this is why we can't get it right, because we've been lied to. We've been twisted around. We have been sold the bill of good. We have been run amok, led astray, bamboozled, hoodwinked, all of those different things. And we don't have a proper understanding. This is why we get on social media and we start gossiping, because we don't know the enemy is monitoring social media, or we just don't give up that the enemy is monitoring social media. This is everything that's happening. This is real talk, family. It's real talk. Made other than ourselves. Absolutely right. So look, what I want to do real quick, this is your brother King Cam. I'm the host of Shifting the Culture podcast. I pray that you're enjoying what we're discussing tonight, because Will and Jada could benefit from the guidebook on social media. Unless everything is a ploy for them to be able to market and to be able to capitalize off of the new book that Jada has put out. And, if that's the case, I'm not even going to speak on that. But we should not be trying to capitalize off of each other's pain, if that makes sense. Shouldn't be trying to capitalize off of each other's pain, But again, this is a lesson. Let what's going on through Jada and Will be a lesson for us. And we should strive to keep our business personal off of social media airwaves. We should strive to do that. Okay? So look, I want y'all to check this out, because I know y'all have been watching my content on Instagram, seeing the videos about tech. I've got into the tech industry, broke into the tech industry, been able to make a nice piece of money in the tech industry, and it's underrepresented by us. It's very easy to get into the tech industry going through entry level. They have something called boot camps that teach you entry level skills so that you can break into the tech industry. You can transition your career. There's been people that transition from so many careers, nursing careers, and careers in accounting, teachers, all type of stuff, police officers, in transition to the tech industry. You're able to work from home. You get paid high-paying salaries. I teach people, once you're able to get in the door, you get a high-paying salary. Then you're able to leverage that money into entrepreneurship. You can start to create different streams of revenue, purchasing real estate, all of those different things that you can start to do, which we don't traditionally have the ability to do with the current jobs that we're in. Tech is the future, so I'm encouraging people you want to tap in. But listen to this commercial right here, and then we'll be right back with Shifting the Culture. Greetings. You may have seen my video on YouTube where I talk about my tech journey and how I was able to take $100 and turn it into $85K. The way I was able to do that was jumping into the tech industry, breaking through that door, and getting in on an entry level through a tech boot camp by the name of Course Careers. Number one, the reason why I took Course Careers was because of the price. Course Careers is extremely affordable. It is only $500. And if you utilize my discount code, it can take $50 off and it'll actually be $450. But even better, they have a payment plan for those of us who wasn't able to pay $450 up front, because I couldn't even pay $450 up front. That's how bad your brother was. So I wasn't able to pay $450 up front, but they have a payment plan option that allows you to put $100 down and you're able to get access to the course. The number two reason why I got into Course Careers was because of all of the testimonials. The third reason why I took Course Careers was because of the free introductory course. Troy did an excellent, phenomenal job in the free introductory course that gave you an outline of what you will be learning in Course Careers, and also went through his own personal story, his own personal struggles, and how tech sales changed his life and why it will be able to change your life as well. So if you're interested in taking Course Careers, I'm going to put my discount code up and available so you can get $50 off. If you click the link below, you're going to be able to start your Course Careers journey, get $50 off, and then what I want you to do is refer a friend, because once this changes your life, why would you keep it to yourself? You need to let somebody else know. So again, click the link in the bio, click the link below, and when you click the link below, I thought it was on Instagram. When you click the link below, then you'll be able to start your tech journey, get to this tech bag, and don't forget the discount code that's going to take $50 off. Don't hesitate, family. Don't waste no more time. Get into Course Careers right now. Click the link below. Let's get started. And then feel free to reach out to me. I want to help as many people as possible, especially people in my community. So click the link below again. Let's get started. Get the $50 off. Let's get to the bag. Hey. You heard what the brother said in that video? Heard what the brother said. Go ahead and get to the bag right now. Click the link. So I'm about to put the link up right now. Boom. Wanted to show y'all that. So I'm about to put the link in the chat for those who are interested in joining, getting that tech bag, family. Please share with your family and your friends. Just drop that in there for you. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. So I was able to put that in there. All right, family. So again, we know Jada and Will are back at it. We seen them. And what I wanted to do in this particular episode was I wanted to highlight some best practices of social media that we could use, because I see too many people, not just Jada and Will, putting out personal business on social media. It's everybody and it's everywhere. And the problem with that is that what happens is you invite so many people in to your personal situation that it could ill affect the thinking of those who are going through that, and it could damage the healing process. Does that make sense? Could damage the healing process. So I just wanted to close with what the minister was giving us in our social media guidebook, which you can order off of store.funnelcall.com. And you can get this book and you can read it for yourself, I believe. And it'll help us in our understanding with the proper use of social media. And the minister gave us guidance on how we should probably use it. You know, the minister said that I think we should strive to fill the airways of social media or the internet with intelligent discourse, rather than the vanity and useless foolishness that is constantly being used on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter pages. I would also like for the ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, under my leadership, to respond intelligently to the people who are raising questions, even those who doubt the truth of what we are saying and are exclaiming their vitriol and bitterness to what they are hearing from us. But never, ever should we go down in the gutter with those who choose to go there. So that's it. That's all I have for the family tonight. I pray that this was something that was valuable. I pray that you had an opportunity to look at this and evaluate it and say, how can I learn from what's been going on? Have I been putting my personal business out on social media? Have I been airing my grievances? You know, have I been taking screenshots and uploading them on Facebook trying to prove a point? Have I been taking them and putting them on Twitter trying to prove a point? Have I went to social media to discuss my personal issues that I have with somebody in my interpersonal relationship, with my spouse, with an organization I'm a part of, with business, instead of handling that direct business with that person? And then do what? In the spirit of the Million Man March, the 28th anniversary, yesterday we celebrated the Holy Day of Atonement. We should be practicing the 8 steps of atonement. If we do got a problem or somebody got a problem with us, we should be practicing the 8 steps of atonement in the spirit of the Million Man March. Okay? In the spirit of the Million Man March. So we're going to do a show on that to help break down what those 8 steps of atonement are. But we should be doing that. And we should never, ever be using social media as a space and a place to air our grievances out, talk about how somebody wronged us, exposing people. It's too many people building platforms like that, and it's not good. It's not good, because in order to continue to grow your platform, you got to find another story, another person to expose, and you settling on the best part. You're settling on the worst part of people. And that's not good. That's not what you want to do. See, I see the lessons it go into why did the original man, right? Why isn't the devil settled on the best part of the planet Earth? It says, why isn't the devil settled on the best part of the planet Earth? And the answer to that is because the earth belongs to the original man. And knowing that the devil was wicked and there would not be any peace among them, he put him out in the worst part of the earth and kept the best part preserved for himself ever since he made it. So it's not that the original man didn't know about the worst part, because he knew it was there, because as soon as the devil started acting up, he put him out on the worst part. So it's not that the original man didn't know that the worst part existed. It's just that the original man didn't care about the poor part. See? Think about that. He said he kept the best part for himself. This is what we have to do when we are dealing with our people. When we see Will and Jada doing what they're doing, we can't settle on the worst part. We can't settle on the poor part, brothers. So we can't go attacking Jada. We can't go after her, calling her all these different names and assuming that she's this and saying all these things about her and her relationship as it pertains to Will, because we don't know what their private conversations are if we being 100. You know, Will is a very intelligent brother. Pretty sure that the brother is not just willfully being ran over. Right? So we have to, we can't do that. We can't continue to settle on the poor part. So the lessons tell us that we kept the best part for ourselves. See, ever since we made it. So understand that this is our people, and we made these people. We made Jada and Will. Right? There wouldn't be Jada and Will if it wasn't for us. It wasn't for our support of them. So in that, we should be looking to settle on the best part. So in this situation, we want to just offer them guidance that can be used. That's all. We want to offer them guidance that can be used. And from that part, we can continue to move forward. Because look, check this out. It also saying the lessons, why did we let half original man Columbus discover the poor part of the planet Earth? And it says, because the original man is the God and owner of the earth and knows every square inch of it and has chosen for himself the best part. Again, we know every square inch of the planet Earth. So we knew that the poor part existed. We said, yeah, half original Columbus can hang out over there on the poor part. Because we chose for ourselves the best part. Well, if we chose it, that means we actively made a decision to not worry about what was happening on the poor part of the planet Earth. It says in the next line, he did not care about the poor part. So I want us, family, as we close, I want us to think about the way that we treat one another. I want us to think about how we handle one another. And that includes those who you know and who are in your sphere of influence, as well as our celebrity brothers and sisters as well that you don't know from a can of paint. We should not settle on the best part, because you know the square inch of the planet Earth. You know the planet. You know your brothers and sisters. You know black people. They don't change. Whether they got money, they don't got money. You see Boosie. He the same. If he didn't have no money, Boosie be the same person. So black people, we know our people, is my point. Let's settle on the best part. Let's not care about the poor part. All right, family? So that's all I got for us tonight. I pray it was something valuable. You was able to get something out of it, and that we was able to shift the mindset and shift the culture tonight. I'll see you all again next week. Same time, same place. Assalamu alaikum.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me, I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like